walking with the ghost.
Some years after the fall of the Empire, an unnamed Mandalorian bounty hunter returns from a job to meet with his guild leader, Griecarga. Looking to get a big bounty, Karga gives him only an address of his next client who wants the bounty to be private. The client gives the Mandalorian a vague target to bring alive. The only information he is allowed to give is an age, 50 years old, and last known location. After using a special medal given to him by the client to get an armor upgrade, the Mandalorian reaches a desert planet and meets a native named Kuil, who wants to help him so that he can be rid of the criminals who now inhabit the area. He teaches him to ride a blurg, as there are no land speed vehicles to traverse the area, and sends him to where his bounty is located. Upon reaching the hideout, the Mandalorian is forced to team up with a bounty droid, IG-11. They manage to clear the area, the entire facility, and discover that the bounty is a green, big-eared infant creature, the same species of alien as Yoda. IG-11 plans to kill it, but the Mandalorian blasts him to protect the baby. That right there is the entire episode of, you know, season one, episode one, entitled Chapter One of the Bounty. I mean, of the Bounty of the Mandalorian. So much things about bounty. I said the bounty. That's the name of a movie starring Mel Gibson, right? But anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed the Mandalorian. I thought it was a very, very just captivating show, and the Mandalorian really is quite a interesting character. I like how he acts, how he goes through the areas he goes through, the places and towns he goes through, much like Clint Eastwood's A Man Without a Name. The spaghetti westerns where he just rides into town, does what he needs to do, and he walks around with just a casual swagger. Like he just goes there, does his business, and if anybody gets in the way, he knows how to handle it. Like when he went to that that bar, right? And these guys are kind of giving him a hard time. One guy calls him Mando, and I remember I seen this opening clip and what do you call it on Monday Night Football. So I saw it and then saw it again, and and they're actually trying to get this one guy, claim a bounty on this one guy, and then it ends up that that's what the Mandalorian's after, and he gets him, puts him on his ship, and then this ends up putting him in carbonite, and along with a bunch of other bounties that he collected. He collects from Carl Weathers' character named Griecarga, and he's then set on this job, and meets this guy in private and offered like half now to get a precious asset, and then he meets so Nick Nolte's character. He voices the character of Will, who is an Ugnaught, and he teaches him how to ride this blurg, and it's a female. And he was worried, right? But he said, the female, I guess it's because he's a male, and so she kind of was like very, very like not cooperative because the female of that species eats their their mates after they're done mating. Kind of like a Black Widow, or kind of like not Black Widow, kind of like a what do you call it? Praying mantis, because the praying mantis female is bigger than the male. And for me, the what I liked in the show is I liked the shootout that he and IG-11, the droid that he meets, his battle droid, and they decide to they're actually doing the same thing, going after the same asset, the bounty. No, but it's not a bounty; it's an asset. I guess I'm thinking like the asset is different from a bounty because I guess a bounty is dead or alive, but an asset is something that's important. You need to bring it to them alive, and so they get in a shootout with all these other, I guess, bounty hunters. And what I love about IG-11 is that he has like sections on his head, and they spin around, and the way his body can spin around in different directions and shoot behind him, shoot in front of him, shoot to the side, and it really really is cool. The way they built that droid for this show, and very very adept and very very efficient in what it does and what how it hit its target. It seems like he wasn't getting hit, and you have all these guys, these bounty hunters shooting at him and the Mandalorian, and droid's not even getting hit. It gets hit towards the end of the shootout when Mandalorian says, go out, get out there, and and distract them. And so the guy on this, he's on this, I guess it's like a machine gun or a machine gun type blaster, and he ends up his direction is, his attention is focused on the droid, and then Mandalorian with his grappling hook, was able to, you know, latch onto the to that to the what do you call that? I call it a blaster machine gun, machine gun blaster. And then he's able to take out the one who was using that weapon, and then he uses it himself, and he gets rid of every one of the other bounty hunters. They go inside, and I'm wondering, like, what are they going after? They know that it's like a living thing, and he has this device. Looks like a divining rod, but it's like this, and it shows him, and kind of, I guess, lets him know that where there's like a life, where there's a heartbeat, someone in the area. And then they find this little, like, looks like a bassinet, little baby carriage, and then in it was like, I'm surprised because in it you see, like, I'm looking at baby Yoda, but it's alien life form that is in the same vein as Yoda. Yoda comes from that alien race, and it's so cute, and it's like, this is 50 years after the Empire, after the fall of, well, not 50 years after the fall, but that's after the fall of the Empire. So, I was thinking, is this Yoda? But this, because you only see Yoda. I don't think you ever saw anybody else. It could have been, but I just know, and I just remember seeing Yoda, and that's the only one of his race. I don't even know what the name of Yoda's race is, but it's a little tender moment where he kind of reaches out with a finger, and then the little big-eared infant little creature, puts his finger out too. And it's like a little ET. That a little nod to ET. I don't know, you know what I mean? But that's how it ends, and it's very very unique how they name these episodes. Like, this was only titled Episode One, and then I looked in not Episode One, Chapter One, and then the next episode is Chapter Two, and one after that is Chapter Three. So you would think they would have names for them, but to me, it don't matter. This episode was great. It was very, very like, they really had my attention, and I was very invested in the Mandalorian's character, and even Quill and Carl Weathers' character and the others. Really is a great series so far. Only one episode, but really off to a good start. And those of you who've seen it, let me know what you think down below. Really is worth getting Disney Plus. I understand that there are people out there who don't want to give Disney any money. They don't want to spend any money on them, whether it be merchandise, whether it be, pay services like this. But I decided a long time ago that I want to be entertained, and I'm glad that I got this because of the Mandalorian. That's the only reason why I got it. But I'm going to check out the other shows and other special movies and other specials that they have, because Disney's going to do what they do, and it shouldn't keep us from, you know, watching what they put out. There are some things you can definitely decide what not to watch and what to watch. And I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch Lady and the Tramp. I'm going to watch some of the other stuff that they have. There are some that I'm not going to, but it's like Netflix. I got Netflix. I don't watch everything on Netflix. I got cable TV. I don't watch everything on cable TV. I pick and choose what I want to watch. And some of you may disagree, and you definitely don't want to give Disney anything. But to me, that's my decision, and I don't agree with a lot of the. Don't get me wrong. I don't agree with a lot that they do. There are some things that, especially like with the Mandalorian, I agree with, and if they just need to just put out stuff like this and not try to insult our intelligence with stuff that they try to put out too, like with the Star Wars, the recent Star Wars trilogy, or it's going to be the trilogy is going to end with the release of the Rise of Skywalker. But hopefully they continue to get better and give us something like this, stuff like this. And enough with the politics, enough with the agendas. I wish Disney would just go back to being an entertainment company and not worrying about agendas and not worrying about only catering to a certain group of people, because in the end we are your fans. In the end we are the ones that you know pretty much pay for your films, pay for stuff like this, like Disney Plus and all that. That money is going your way, so it would be nice if you remember us and don't try to alienate the majority of your fans. But enough about that. Enough about my being on a sitting on standing on the soapbox and doing all that talking about that stuff. But anyway, again, I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the first episode of The Mandalorian. And for those of you who stopped by and checked out this video, I appreciate it very much. And in closing, and as always, take care.